Shabbat Shalom. I want to look briefly at the Haftarah that was just chanted. Shirat Devorah, the Song of Deborah, which is the culmination of the military battle and war between a coalition of northern Israelite tribes against the Canaanites. And it culminates in Sisera, who is the military leader of the Canaanites, trying to destroy the Israelites, and him fleeing after his military is destroyed in this graphic nature. It's only graphic if you don't like, those explosion, blow up, movies. But in this graphic nature, Yael brings Sisera into her tent, thinking he's seeking refuge, waits for him to go to sleep, and then drives a tent peg into his skull. The Song of Deborah celebrates military victory, and yet it ends with an acknowledgement of Sisera's mother, the mother of the military leader who was trying to kill the Israelites. Sisera's mother peering through a window, longing for her son to come home. Every time I read that, I'm struck by that. The person who is responsible for setting out to destroy the Israelites, the judge and prophetess of the Israelites, people of that generation, Deborah, acknowledges his mother who yearns for his safety. There's no narrative connection between the Haftarah and the Torah portion. There never is. There's always a thematic connection and relationship. And so the thematic connection is that song, right? The Song of Deborah, which our bat mitzvah chanted in the Haftarah, and the Song of the Sea, the song that we chanted in the Torah reading, in which Moshe and then Miriam sing this song of freedom, sing this song of celebration. And the text says that God is Adonai ish milchama, right? That God is this God who, with military might, who brings the Israelites to freedom out of victory. The Song of the Sea talks about these walls of water crashing down on the Egyptian army, on their chariots, as they're drowning, gasping for air. And Moses is singing, and Miriam is singing, and the Israelites are singing. And then, according to Midrash, which we find in Tractate Megillah and the Babylonian Talmud, the angels start singing as well. And God yells at the angels, chastises them, and says they needed to die so that the Israelites could be free. But we don't sing and celebrate that loss of life. And so it's not just the song of Moshe and Miriam and the Song of Deborah that connects the two, but it's the acknowledgement of the rabbis of the Midrash, the rabbis of the Talmudic period, and the acknowledgement of Deborah and her song itself. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years apart. To acknowledge that war is necessary at times in order to protect yourself and protect your people. That even as we say, Ohev Shalom, Rodef Shalom, that we should love peace and pursue peace, it doesn't mean that the Israelites and subsequently the Jewish people are pacifist people who don't understand the wars to defend themselves. But both the Talmudic rabbis and the judge and prophetess Deborah acknowledge that idea that we don't celebrate the necessary loss of life in order to be safe, in order to be free. It's acknowledging humanity. I can't help but think when I read the Song of Deborah in this image of Sisera's mother peering out the window, I'm drawn to words that I shared about a month ago, words of Rachel Goldberg, the mother of Hirsch Goldberg Poland, who has been in captivity, held hostage in Gaza for over 100 days, as she wears taped onto her shirts the number of the day, changing that piece of masking tape day after day until he comes home safely. And in front of the Geneva Coalition gathering of the United Nations, as she begged the world to bring her son home safely, she said and acknowledged the mother, she said. There's a mother over there, which is so far away, but not so far, who also cries herself to sleep at night, hoping that her children will be safe. And then she went on to say that she yearns and prays for the day when she and that mother will sip tea together, will laugh with their toothless smiles because that sweet tea has caused decay in their teeth, and that they'll see their sons and their grandsons playing together. I can't help but think of that, somebody who I don't know if I have her bravery and her strength to think that, as she begs the world to not forget about her son. But she does, and it seems so did Deborah in our Haftarah. As Deborah celebrates Yael for her bravery, the text says, Tivorach minashim Yael, that blessed be Yael from all women, that she stood up as victor, as heroine in this story. As she still acknowledges this mother peering out her window, yearning for her family to be safe. And I think of that. Think of that. I think of how our rabbis doubled down on that idea in their interpretation of God, the angels. May we be reminded of that as well. Even so, we declare Am Yisrael Chai, this idea that the Jewish people, that the people of Israel, the nation of Israel, live and survive and thrive, as we reflect on a terrible week of so much loss, reports of so much loss in Khan Yunis, the loss of 21 IDF soldiers who were killed by rocket-propelled grenade. We reflect on the loss of war and the realities of war. We also reflect on those mothers who yearn, who beg, who pray for their children to come home safely.